Good everyone, my name is Graphics. If you look at the right hand side of the screen, you will see two views of a given figure that is displayed in third angle projection because of the sign you see on the top of the screen here. We are told to assemble these views and reproduce them in isometric projection. Now, the first thing you do is for you to draw your isometric axis in this fashion. You are going to have your y-axis this way. You have the y-axis this way, and you have the x and z axis this way, as you can see me doing on the screen, right? So this is the first thing you are going to be doing. Is that taken? Now, if you look at the diagram very well, you will discover that the entire height here is gotten from the elevation, and this is the elevation here because it is in what? Third angle projection. So the elevation is always the one under, while the one on top is the plan. So if you look at from this base here to the center of this circle here, he is given to be 122 altogether. Now, if you look at the radius, that is from this center here to the top here is the radius of this circle here, this arc here. That is what? 26. So 122 plus 26 will give us 148. So I am going to measure 148 on this here. So I'm starting from 1. You can start from 0. I'm starting from 1. Right? If you start from 0, you stop at 14.8. Start from 1, you stop at 15.8. So this is 0, my 0 here. 0 to 15, from this 1 here. 1 to 15 is 14. Are you with me now? And 14, this is 145, 146, and this is 148 here. As you can see, if you start from 0, you'll be ending at what? 14.8. Are you with me now? So what I just simply mean here, because some of you, you still be wondering how did they come about that? You start from 1, meaning your 1 is 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 145, 146, 147, 148. Can you see that now? But if you're starting from 1, you'll not end at 15, you end at 14.8. So move forward. Now, the next thing is it is facing this way. That is why if you look at the diagram, it's facing like this. So what I will do here is the width here is given to be from here to here, and that will be given as 100 and what? 128. So I'm going to measure 128 here from 0 at this point here. I will on track to 128. So this is 120, 128. Here I'm starting from 0 now, so I'll stop at that point. Then the other length here will be given as what? 122. So you're seeing you're putting a center line here, meaning that what is at this side is they're saying what's at the other side. So it's symmetrical. Are we there? So we have 102. So I'm going to measure 100 and what? 102. So from 0 to 102 is 0 to 10 is 100. 101, 102 here. Can you see that? So I'll bring it out my usual way of doing things. I'm going to form a box from this. So I'll place it here this way, and I'll draw a vertical line this way. I'll move it here. I'll draw another vertical line this way. Hope you can see that. And I'll place it here just like I did here. I'll come here too. I'll draw an angle at 30, and also another one at what? At 30. I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing to here. 30, and here too. 30. So this is what I am trying to come up with. This is where I am going to carve out my image from. Is that okay now? So I would like to start from the top. I would like to do what? Start from the top. So let's see how that goes. So from the top here, I have a thickness. You see this, you see here? This is it here too. That is, this shape is from the elevation is this here. So the elevation is telling me that what? It is thick. There are two thickness here, and that is what? 20. Since it's symmetrical, it means that 20 at this end, and 20 at the other end. So I'm going to measure 20, 20 at both ends. So let's do that and see. So from 0 to 20 this way. Alright. And again from another 0 here to 20. Can you see that? That is what we are having there. So I can just take it in this way. Front line first. And take it to in this way. Front line first. Can you see that? If it's too big, you can reduce the size by dividing whatever dimension used by 2. I'm using the full size here. Now aside that, I can still bring it down here. Let's see what I'm about to do. To bring this down here. And bring this down here, front line. So the good news here is the center line here is at the center of this figure here. So the easy way you can get the center, like I always teach you, you can just easily join the two diagonals. So when you draw this, you come here also, you join the diagonal, you join this. So this is where they are meeting here. So I'll now take my instrument, meaning that this is the center here. This is the center here. Hope you can see that. So if you don't follow that way, you can still do it this other way. Each from here to here is giving us 128. That means we'll be using 128 divided by what? By 2, that will be what? 64. So that means you need to measure 64. So if I measure 64 from here, from 0, from this point here, this is 0 here. So I can just measure the 64. So this 0 is 60. So 64 will be somewhere around there, depending on how you want. If this is 64, let's check the other side too. So this is 64 here. So that is what we'll be sticking with this side here. This will be my center here. Right? Not the other previous one. So after we've done that, I can just go down a little bit this way. I'll go down here to a little bit this way. I'll do that for everything because I'll be doing them simultaneously. Right? It will save my time and energy. So remember that I have this, let's see, this is what we have there, all these points. So after we've done that, we'll start with the bigger arc outside, which is radius of what? 26. Right? So let's do that and see. So I'll measure 26 on my meter rule from 0 to what? To 26. And I'll place it at this point where they meet here. And I'll cut down. I'll come here too. I'll cut down. I'll cut left. And I also what? I'm also cut to right. You see what I'm about to do now? So if I use my instrument and I should join this together like this. This is meeting here. So let me complete that. This is meeting here. And this is meeting here. And I'll do these two this way. And I'll do these two this way. And I'll close it up using your ordinate method in construction. Are we there? So what I'm focusing on is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and center. Hear the logic? Now, remember, I will just take this way. I'll do here this way like this. I'll do here to this way like this. I'll come here too. I'll do here this way. And I'll do here this way. You see what I'm about to do now? Now, if I bring this out this way, I'll bring this one down to come and meet it. I'll also bring this one out to this way. I'll bring this one down to come and meet it. They're all meeting at this point here. Let me do this. They're all meeting at this point here. So I can say this is 3. This will be 3 prime, right? This will be 5 prime, the same thing. This will be, I'm just doing this to enhance your understanding. 6 prime, 7 prime. Here is 1 prime also. Here, this point. You see here is giving us 8 prime, right? Then I can just get my 4 also this point. 4 here. It is already there. And what else? Another center here, C. So I'll call this point here to be C prime. This is 4 prime. Just to enhance your understanding. So this thing I have here, I'll do it here too. Not difficult. Just take this down this way first. From here, take it down. Then you bring this way. You take this down to meet it. As long as you're using your instrument, the work will look easier and more understanding. So just close it up. Also close it up. Then bring it down. So I'm doing the same thing. Not if I'm bringing this 2 box in 2 places. So I can easily just name it and still call it to be 3, 3 prime, 1. So if you remember, you just join the diagonals. I only need just one to get the rest. So join the diagonal from 3 to 7. From 3 to 7. From 3 to 7 again. From 3 to 7. Can you see that? And the next thing again we'll do is joining from 1 to 6. And from 1 to 4. Can you see that? So I will now transfer all the points. So if I place it this point here, I'll call it 9, or P, then here will be what? Q. So if I should transfer this point to this point here, all through is Q, all the diagonals Q, Q, that's PPP. Here's what? Q, Q, Q. Hope you can see that. So we can start. If I use my compass here, I take it to 6. I'll get this point here from 6 to 4. So let's do that. Right? I'll come again from the same one here. I'll do this too. Those faint line first. We are coming. I'll come again from 1 again. I'll do the same thing. Faint line. From 1 again. I'll do the same thing. Maybe you see what I'm doing. So I'm using this one for everything. I'm doing this simultaneously. Then I'll come to P. I'll connect P and 8 together this way. Faint line. Can you see that? I'll come here again. This is another P here also. I'll do the same thing. I'll just stop at the diagonal here. I'll come here too. Let me just increase it a little bit first. I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing. I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing. Can you see that? Hope you can see that. Now, before we do anything, there's a straight line going down. And that line is ending at a level of, if you look from this base here, that's 8 plus 20, that's where the line will stop. That will give us 58. So from the base here, I am going to measure 58. So from 0, $58. Can you see that? And I am going to connect them like this. That's what I'm about to do. Just faint line first. Another faint line again first. Right? Here too is where we're just stopping. So if I'm doing that now, it means that I'm going to draw a line that will be tangential from this point straight down to this circle here. You have to be very careful there. So this is where I'm going to now thicken it. Let me turn this well. Sorry. So I'm going to do what? I'm going to thicken it. You can see that? I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing here too. I'm going to thicken it. Can you see that? I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing from here. I'm going to thicken it. I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to thicken it. Hope you can see what I'm doing. And at the back too, I'll do the same thing here too. Draw from here to touch here. Can you see that? Then this won't be possible. What I will just do is I will draw a line. I'll just cover both of them this way. Hope you can see that. Here also I will trace this. Let me trace this way from this point. Just look for a line that's coming like this. This is a line here, so I'll just trace this to meet the line here. See what I'm doing now? That is where I'm going to draw this to touch that faint line first. Faint what? Faint line. Stop here. Can you see that? And I'm going to take this in this way. And I'll stop here. Right? Now before I proceed or I want to do anything at all, I'll have to thicken this out to give it more beauty. So let me do that. So you see that, taking all this curve out. So I have taken that out. Now if you look at the figure closely again, right, you discover that there's a circle in between these two given figure here. Is that okay? There's what? There's a circle. So if I'm doing that, the circle diameter is given to be, it says 2 holes. So the circle diameter is given to be what? 32. So I'm going to be using 16 millimeter as the radius. So I'm going to take my meter rule and I'm going to measure 16 from 0. This is 10, 15, 16 here, right? And I'll place it at the center here. I'll mark 16 up, 16 down, 16 to the left, and 16 to the right. You can do that here, but since I have one here, I don't have to stress myself. But you can just come here, you yourself, and just come to the center, right? This is the center that we have here, and you mark 16 up, but I don't really need that. So I'll just come here, I'll draw my box. This, 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 this. Right, we already have a diagonal, but we'll have a new P and Q now. So if I'm moving from this point here to this line here, I'll get my new P. Then if I come here, let me just call it P prime, or let's leave it there. So come from the same point again to the next point again. So I'll be having the next one here. That is what I will use to draw my curve. So if I place it here, I'll come here and I'll draw my arc this way. I'll come the other end too. I'll place it here and I'll get the other one too this way. And I'll come to this point too. And I'm going to close it up. Out there. This way. And I'll come here too. I'm going to close it up too. This way. Hope you can see that. So let me take it out. You can see that. So I've done this. There's another one inside. It is 2. Right? So how can I get this? You don't have to stress yourself in doing all these stresses that you want to do. But before that, let me do the same thing here first. So I'll transfer those points. So if I should move this center here, C, this is the center of C here. Out there. I'll draw my line this way, vertical and horizontal. Then I'll transfer my points in this way. So when I transfer my points, on the long run, this is what I'll be getting. If I do the same thing I have here, this is what I'll be getting. Let's just proceed for people's understanding. So if I take this down here, this point will be this point here. and this point here you see will be this point here. Or you can just measure your 16, 16 as I did earlier. Then this point you see is this point, and this point you see here is this point. I'll just close them up. Vertical, vertical. This is what I want to achieve. This point here you see. So we're going to draw out our box to put in the circle here, just like what we did here. We'll be having this. That's what we'll be having there. Start again. So there's another one inside because it is 2. So let's see if that one will be useful. There's one inside too. So how are we going to achieve that? 2 ways. You can do that in 2 ways. First of all, you take these 2 ends inside and these 2 ends inside, right? And you're going to measure the thickness of this, which is 20, 20, thickness of this 2, which is 20, and you place it at this end here, and you mark your 20 at this side. This is where 20 reach, this point, and this is where 20 reach also, this point. Are we there? That is the 220 that we have here. 20 here and 20 the other side. So the next one you now do is that from this point here, you just place it here at that point you marked from this end to this end 25 instead of redoing it again, and take it to that point you marked here. Then you get this way. Can you see that? So let me thicken it out. You do the same thing here. You can just do it in 2 ways. Just take your French curve also instead of stressing yourself, and you target these 2 ends here, this end and this end here. You place your French curve there. Hope you see what I'm doing, and you're going to get these 2. You should be able to get this. So I'll taking it out. Still the same thing as the former. So just taking that out. So we move forward and see how that goes. So once you've done that, the next thing that you should be doing here is to measure the depth of how many from here to here is 20. So you measure the 20 millimeter downward. From 0 down is 20. Is 20 here. And you close it up. The diagram here showing that it is being closed. That's why you're seeing hidden line here. So it means that here is closed up. Here is closed up. Let's see very well. Yes, it is closed up. And here also is closed up. Hope you can see that. And also here too is closed up. Then here is not closed because the hidden line you're seeing in a minute is on the inside. That is line here. So I have here, and I also have here. Right. So aside that, we're not done. There is a circular figure just beneath it. So what we'll just do here is just to get the center of that figure. Now, if you look closely, there is a circle here. If you can look from the plan here, there are three of them. One, two, three. But the inner one is more visible. And that one has a diameter of what? 24. Are we good now? So I'm going to start from what? From the inner one. Is that taken now? Which has a diameter of what? 24. So let's do that and see how it goes. First of all, get the center of this. From here to here is 102. So 102. So 51 will be the center. So when you take your meter rule, you take half of it, which is what? 51. So from 0 to 51 is here. And your other one, we already have it from the beginning, which is the center line here. I'll trace it down. I will take half of 128. So I'm going to use my meter rule and I'll join those two center lines together where they will meet. So when I do this, I will also do this. So they are meeting here. Alright? So I have three of them. I have the one of 25 and I have the one of 35. So I can still take my line down, this center line down. See what I'm about to do. I'll take it straight down and I'll measure a height of what? 55. That means from this point here, straight down here is 20 plus 20 plus 38, right? So I'm going to measure 20 plus 38 here. So just take your meter rule and just place it like this, right? And I'll come to the center, I will mark here. So that point you see is another center there, both up and down. So let me just do that. So we'll get to, if I do it this way, and I'll do it this way. So I can easily start from the base. Let's say the base. That's the diameter of what? 38 abi. So I'll just take half of 38, which is 19. From 0 to 19, right? 0 to 19. And I'll place it at this base here. I'll mark 19, 19, and 19. Another 19 here. So I'll bring out my box from it. So bringing out my box from it, I'll be having this way. And this one too. And this one too. Faint line, and this one too. So look at the box I have brought out, this box, from this end to this end to this end and to this end. And I'll join the diagonal. Right? So you join from this end to this end. That's like what we've been doing from the beginning to draw a circle in isometric. This is the ordinate method. So this is where it is meeting here. If I use my compass now and I place it at this end here, I'll connect this end to this end here. So normally this will just stop here because it will not go through the field, but the rest is just hidden line. Another one that way, I'll just stop here. Then from this point here to this point, I'll connect these two. So I'm having this way. So this is stopping here. Can you see that? So this will be stopping at this point. The rest is just hidden line. If I should show you, you cannot see it. It is just at the base there. It's just at the base there. So we'll only do this. Now we are done with that. The next one is the other part, which will be on this level, this other level. That's the level of 20. So I'm going to measure a level of 20. What's the level of 20? From this point to this point, I will come to the center and I'm going to mark 20 here. And I'll do the same thing I did down there. I'll do it at that point. So you're not really going to see it. So I rather just ignore that part because it is just hidden line. Right? It's from the base there. So I rather ignore it. So what I'll just focus more on should be, let me just do that for people's understanding. If I just do that like this, It's just there, so we will not see it because it will be inside the figure as in hidden. So what we'll try and see, which will be very small, is the one of 24. That will be on the surface. That's the only one on the surface. And that's the diameter of what? 24, then the rest will be what? Will be 12. So we will not really see that part of it. So let me just try and see. 12. This 12 here. If I place it here, so we will not see it. So I will not bother myself with it. We'll have it in mind. There's a circle here, depending on where it is facing. So if I should do the other way around, it depends. So it will be facing this side here, right? So you'll be able to see all those things that we are not seeing now. So if you have found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.